He was born in the Ozark foothills, he was a coal camp teamster's son, and before he turned 16, he got a taste for booze and guns. Well, his mama tried to slow him down when they moved up to Sedalia town, but by then there wasn't much she could do. He was the last man to hang in Missouri. They strung him up in a barn behind the Cooper County jail. And the last thing he said was, "I want to die smiling." And the last thing he heard that day was a hound dog's mournful wail. Well, the first time he got busted, he was drinking rot gut booze. He was just 16, but he was on the run, and he was living fast and loose. Well, his mama got him off that time, but trouble wasn't hard to find. Didn't take him long to seek it out. Well, the next time he got busted, he was carrying a gun. Robbed a man of $3.50 and some nickels just for fun. But his car got stuck on the getaway, and they winged him as he ran away, and they locked him up, and he spent some time in jail. Well, he'd only served a year or so before he got out on parole, and he played it straight for a few short months, but the straight life was a bore. So he stole a car and he left one night, headed up for the city lights, where a kid like him could make a bigger score. Well, he met a man named Collins, and they took to stealing cars. Well, they lived it up, they spent their time in honky-tonks and bars. But Mabry's luck was running thin. One dark night he killed a man, and they tracked him down and sentenced him to hang. He was the last man to hang in Missouri. They strung him up in a barn behind the Cooper County jail. And the last thing he said was, "I want to die smiling." And the last thing he heard that day was a hound dog's mournful wail. And so at last the day came round to pay for what he'd done, and Mabry's only real regret was that he had to die so young. But he gave a dime to Sheriff Groom, gave a dime to Big Jim Drew, and the prisoners sang when the Saints go marching in. He was the last man to hang in Missouri. They strung him up in a barn behind the Cooper County jail. And the last thing he said was, "I want to die smiling." And the last thing he heard that day was a hound dog's mournful wail.